This is a question that has been plaguing mankind since the dawn of time. I'm just kidding. It hasn't. But today, we are going to answer the age-old question. What is the difference between a wallaby and a kangaroo? We're going to tell you all about the differences between these two Australian icons, including their size, their diet, and even their thumbs. If you've ever been confused by these furry little guys before, then stick around because by the end of this video, you will be an expert on the subject. And maybe, just maybe, you'll sound smart when your friends bring up the topic. For our first point, let's talk about the size of these guys. Now, both species are about the same height, but there are some distinct differences. On average, wallabies are a little bit taller than kangaroos, with males usually reaching about 4 feet in height and females being around 3 feet tall. Kangaroos, on the other hand, are a little bit shorter, with males measuring around 3 feet and females around 2.5 feet. There are also some size differences between the different species of wallabies and kangaroos. For example, the red kangaroo, which is the largest species of kangaroo, can grow to be over 6 feet tall. That's almost twice the size of a wallaby. But keep in mind that these are just averages, and there are always exceptions. So don't be surprised if you see a small kangaroo or a tall wallaby. Let's move on to the next point, their diet. Both wallabies and kangaroos are herbivores, which means that they only eat plants. They are also known as browsers because they prefer to eat leaves, shrubs, and fruits. However, there are some differences in their diet. Wallabies tend to eat more grasses and agricultural crops, such as alfalfa, while kangaroos tend to eat more woody vegetation. This is because wallabies typically live in open grasslands or agricultural areas, while kangaroos are found in a variety of habitats, including forests and deserts. Next, let's talk about their thumbs. Wait, what? You didn't know that kangaroos and wallabies have thumbs, did you? Well, they do. Both species have 2 large claws on their front feet that they use for climbing and balance. These claws are more developed than the other 3 toes on their feet, making them more thumb-like. However, there are some differences. Wallabies have longer and more slender thumbs, while kangaroos have shorter and thicker ones. This is because wallabies need to be more agile when they climb, while kangaroos rely more on their strength. Moving on, let's talk about their tails. Both wallabies and kangaroos have prehensile tails, which means that they can use them to grasp objects. They also use their tails for balance and support when they are standing or moving around. However, there are some differences. Wallaby tails are longer and more flexible, while kangaroo tails are shorter and stiffer. This is because wallabies need to be more agile when they jump, while kangaroos need more stability. Right. Now let's talk about their social lives. Both wallabies and kangaroos are social animals who live in groups called mobs. The size of these mobs can vary depending on the species and the availability of food and water. But generally speaking, wallaby mobs are smaller than kangaroo mobs. Wallabies are also more likely to be territorial, while kangaroos are more likely to be nomadic. This is because wallabies need to protect their food source, while kangaroos are constantly on the lookout for new sources of food. Finally, let's talk about their conservation status. Both wallabies and kangaroos are found in Australia and are an important part of the ecosystem. However, some species of each animal are at risk of extinction due to factors such as habitat loss and hunting. For example, the red-necked wallaby is listed as endangered, while the eastern gray kangaroo is listed as vulnerable. It's important to conserve these animals and their habitats so that future generations can enjoy them. So there you have it. Those are some of the differences between a wallaby and a kangaroo. Don't worry if you're still a little bit confused. Even the experts have a hard time telling them apart sometimes. Just remember the size, diet, thumbs, tails, social lives, and conservation status of each animal, and you'll be good to go. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Till next time, happy hopping.